Real quick, I have a question. What is 13 plus 14? Well, if we use a calculator, as some of you may be able to, 13 plus 14 equals 27. Little did you know the computer already knows that. What we're going to do is we're going to code a piece real quick that replaces the text. We're just going to add that on, but it's going to do a calculation in the background that makes something happen. And we're going to expand upon this first, but this is the introduction to what are known as variables. You know variables from algebra class, where, for example, x plus 5 equals 15. X plus 5 equals 15. You, of course, subtract the 5 over and find out that x equals 10. So when you rewrote it, 10 plus 5 equals 15. Common sense. Hopefully. If not, no big deal. We're going to show you how to do this. So we go into the code. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the text we're going to replace. And 13 plus 14 is, and then we'll click on a button. We'll create the button a little bit later here. What we got to do though is we're going to declare some variables. Now a variable, when you click on the W3 link that will talk about the variable has a couple rules. It is case sensitive. So that means if you make something capital, you got to be consistent. If you keep it lowercase, you got to be consistent. I'm going to ask that we keep as much lowercase as possible. The only time you capitalize something, if it's a longer name, capitalize the first letter, or if there's a little word in front of the name, you capitalize the second letter on the full name, and the abbreviation remains short. You'll see this throughout our examples. So what we're going to do is we're trying to solve for 13 plus 14 the same way we did before. So we have our script type equals text.j or slash JavaScript. We have our script, end script. It's all in the head. We have the body. We have the paragraph. Let's give it an ID right now because you know that's what we got to do. PID equals Coke because that's what I'm drinking right now, a Coca-Cola. And we're going to create a button to run our function, which we will just right now call button type equals button. Have a little trouble typing here. Close the button, and this will be calculate. And there you have it. Okay, so we have the button created. We still got to go up and once again create a function to tell the body what to do, how to work. So we're going to do function, and today, since we're calculating, usually when you name your functions, you want to name them what you're doing. So function calculate, it's one word, so we're going to just leave it at that. Function calculate with the parentheses, and then a brace. Hit enter a few times, do your closing brace. Now, from algebra, we need to associate 13 and 14 with separate variables. Easiest way to think about it, let's think about it as x plus y equals z. So what we're going to do is we're going to first type the word var, stands for variable. And we're going to do this each time early on, just get used to it. Do you need to? No, but I think mentally it will help you remember what you're doing. So var, variable, var, x, we're going to say equals 13. You do the variable first and what it's equal to second, because it reads very literally across like that. When the computer's reading, it's reading from left to right, up and down. And it literally reads x equals 13. If you did 13 equals x, it's going to look around and say, okay, what is x? So we need x equals 13. var, variable y, we're going to make equal to 14. Now you can plug in whatever numbers you want, but we have to make a calculation happen. So we agreed upon that we're going to do x plus y equals z is our equation. So variable z, because we have to still say it's a variable, equals x plus y. Do you need the spacing like that? Not exactly, but it helps. It helps you visually see things spread out a little bit. So variable variable z equals x plus y, where x equals 13, y equals 14. That's good, but now we still need to do that other code we did before. So we're telling it, look through the document, dot, get element by ID. We named our paragraph ID Coke. In parentheses, it's searching for Coke, the name, dot, inner HTML equals, because it's replacing everything from one p tag to the other. Now, what it's replacing it with is no longer a string of text, so we don't need the quotation marks. The quotation marks make the string of text show up literally. When you're replacing it with a variable, though, you just simply type the variable and that, and then the semicolon. Yes. So document searches the body for get element by ID. It's searching for the ID of Coke, the first one it comes upon. Dot inner HTML, so anything inside of the tag there, equals z. So it's going to replace this text, the 13 plus 14 is with the answer. What's the other thing we got to do, though, before we run this? Yeah, that's right. We got to put down here to on click, run the function, which our function is known as calculate. Add to it our blank set of parentheses. And la-di-da, we should be able to run this a-okay. Let's give her a shot. Allow block content, 13 plus 14 is 27. Now, let me show you at least one or two other things with this. With down here in the body, we could change this on click. I'm going to show you this one first. We're going to change it to on mouse over. So when the mouse goes over it, it'll run the function. And I want to see something here. On mouse out, we can revert it. I'll show you that in a second. I just want to show you the difference here. We are going to go back here. So now when I go to click on it, changes it for me. Let me pause the video a second so I can double check a thing and get back to you. Okay, I decided this is how we're going to do it. Since we did the on mouse over to replace it, we're going to do another one that within the same function, actually let's create a second function, that puts the text back in when the mouse moves out. So, this is pretty tricky. Not really. Function replace. We're going to create a new function, which means a new set of braces. And replace, it's simply going to say what we did before for that very first time to replace text. Document.get element by ID. We're going to still be focusing on Coke. So we can call to the ID Coke multiple times. Inner HTML equals, do our quotation marks to make the rect text again, and then we're simply replacing it. 13 plus 14 is, I had 4 P's there, and semicolon, that is it. Now, this function is named differently. So, it's the exact same kind of text thing we've done before, but we got now 2 functions inside of our script. So what we're going to do is, down in the button, we have on mouse over equals calculate. That's just what we did. We're going to do another one, on mouse out, meaning once the mouse is off of the button, we're going to tell it to run the function replace. I was hoping there was a different way to do it, but there really wasn't. So, but this is good. So we're going to run the script. 27. Yep. Yep. Do. Aha. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? So go do something with that. Why? Because it's fun.